What's up, babes? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Now is a great time to subscribe. And of course, as you guys can see from the title, today's video is in collaboration with Alipearl. Now I'm actually bringing you their curly VPART 22-inch unit, which of course all the details will be listed down in my description box below. Now I don't know if you guys have been seeing this, but this video has kind of been circulating for about a year, where I'm not even sure who created this. If I can find the maker, I will definitely be sure to link it down in my description box. But someone came up with the bright idea of actually crocheting the hair around your braids to pretty much give the illusion part. So what does that mean? There is no leave out for this install, which I'm still blown away. Now without further ado, we're gonna jump right into this video. As you guys can see, Alipearl has actually switched up their packaging. So I've been working with them for maybe about 4 or 5 years now, and typically their boxes were a little bit more frill, okay? You guys can see they gave us this nice gold color. And so of course, once I opened this up, I noticed that they did give me a ton of goodies, everything from lashes, wig band, wig comb, caps, you name it, it is there. Now obviously, because this is a VPART unit, I didn't even need any of the things that were in there. So thank you, Alipearl, but we don't need it, okay? Let me show you how easy this is to install. So I am starting off with just, of course, inspecting the hair, making sure that it is exactly what they told me they were gonna be sending. Obviously, if you are purchasing this, you really wanna make sure it's the right color, texture, length before actually cutting into it. Now you guys, the cap is adjustable, so I love that. There is an elastic band, there are wig combs and clips, which is gonna make this for a really comfortable install. Now if you are someone that is kind of nervous about the sizing, I'm assuming this is like a standard size, because I don't remember asking them for like a small, medium, or large cap, but I'm telling you, it fits perfectly. And especially if you are someone that is looking to not have any leave out, this is gonna be the go-to, okay? You guys can see that the curls already look beautiful as is, but y'all know, anytime you get curly hair, I always recommend washing, conditioning it, allowing it to air dry. But for demonstration purposes, I really just need to do this start to finish so you guys can see I am not lying, okay? It is just this easy. Now, of course, I do actually have a video showing you how to prep and kind of prime your hair whenever you're getting ready to do a protective style. So typically, I like to just do cornrows, nothing fancy. I have a few going to the back, and then of course, all that I'm gonna be doing is throwing on the wig. And from here, you guys can see just how everything lays down, really easy and straight to the point. You would slide in the wig combs on the side and the nape of your neck, and of course, kind of decide where you want it to sit on your actual hair. Now in this case, I had to look back at a couple of videos, because I was like, how did they do this? So initially I thought that this was just as simple as, you know, putting the actual wig directly over your braids and just there's your part, right? So I'm assuming like, hey, we should be able to crochet from this point, but because the cap does not have any holes, it does prevent that. If you guys actually create a breathable cap, meaning I'm able to stick my fingers through it, everybody wanting to wear a V-part and not have any leave out or a U-part, so on and so forth, you would be able to crochet the hair in this exact spot, and you wouldn't have to worry about something that I'm going to show you a little bit further in the video. So that's something that I noticed right away, but that's just, y'all know, okay? I'm always finding a way to kind of tweak the style. So anywho, once I realized I was doing it wrong, of course, I did go ahead and realize that I needed to place the cap behind one of the braids. When I say behind, it's really just beside it. So you actually want to expose the 2 braids, which are kind of like anchor braids. Those are going to be the braids that you use to loop the hair to actually crochet it. So I'm going to get a little bit closer just so you guys are able to see the exact method that I use to do this. Now, the crochet needle, I do actually have links on my Amazon store. So in case you guys need that, definitely just pick it up there. And then of course, all that I'm doing from this point is sliding the closed crochet needle underneath the front of my cornrow, right? So you can start on the left or you can start on the right. There's no perfect order. And then of course you want to go ahead and section off maybe about a 1/2 inch of hair, or even less depending on how much time you have. But the goal is going to be to completely cover the braid, right? Luckily this is curly hair, so the kinkier, the curlier, the better, because it's just going to help with that exposure process. So you guys will see that once I sectioned off the little piece of hair, I did go ahead and loop that into the crochet needle, close the crochet needle's little hatchet, and then of course drag it through. I find that it was a little bit easier to do when I pre-sectioned out the hair, and yeah, that way it doesn't get too messy or tangled and all that stuff. So you definitely want to do this one by one. Now I noticed that most people, when they were doing this install, they were not double looping this, but just because I noticed that the hair was kind of flipping to one side, flipping to the, it was doing some things that I didn't like, right? I really wanted to make sure that this was secure so it's not going anywhere, right? Whether we have the clips, combs, or any of that in, at this point those two braids are the anchor. So I decided to double loop it, which actually made me happy. I felt way more comfortable just because it was a little bit easier to kind of loop around, and then of course it helped the hair lay down a little bit better. So of course for the first two strands on the left and the right braid, I decided that that was going to be my method. I was going to go ahead and double loop the first two crochets, and then of course as we continue to the back, I was going to just crochet as normal. Now if you're having trouble actually looping it around, you could definitely use your finger to literally create a loop with the hair. I'll kind of show you a great example of that. I don't want to over talk this part, because if you are a visual learner, it's gonna be trial and error. You're literally just gonna have to get in there and do it. If you need some assistance, find someone that is able to help you crochet, but I promise you, once you get the hang of it, you are in the game. Now what this method reminds me of is the illusion part. I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day, when I say back in the day, I was probably in like high school, so like 2012-ish, right? People were doing the illusion method, which is literally glue tracks stacked on top of each other on either sides of a braid. And so obviously we're not doing this with glue, which I love it because it's a glue-free, the glue-free method. You're only doing the crochet. There is no leave out. You don't have to worry about blending, you guys. Foolproof. I don't know if, was it Mary Kay Bella? I'm trying to think. So there are some OG YouTubers on here that I swear by, like love their content. I probably will just list all the YouTubers that I have seen do this method down in my description box below. Just because, I mean, why not? Like, celebrate y'all, okay? I appreciate it because y'all put me on, and now I'm able to share with my following as well. So thank you. And as you guys can see, once I kind of get to the back part of this, I continue to loop all the way around. Now when I got to the left side, you guys can just kind of see the difference. It literally looked like this was growing out of my scalp. If the part was even closer, y'all would not be able to tell me a thing, okay? Nothing. So anywho, I'm even considering like cutting a small like little slit right behind where the comb or the clip is on the actual V part, just because I gotta get that method through, because I need this part to be a little bit closer. As natural as I feel like it looks, it would just be taken up a notch if that was a factor, okay? So I might have to do a little work there. But anywho, you guys are able to see one side versus the other side, and obviously the method that I was doing before was completely wrong. So you don't want to have that exposed little area of like cap, and you know, you just don't. It's not giving the vibes, okay? So all that I did from here is pretty much shape up the hair. You guys can see just how big and full the hair got. I mean, obviously curly hair grows and grows on you. So I did add some layers, just because what is curly hair without the layers? You guys can see how like dull, and I don't even want to say dull, it just looks a little lifeless, right? I already have a pretty long face, so we need something to kind of add a little bit more roundness and fullness to my head shape or whatever, just so that it complements me a little bit more. And so of course I did go ahead and just take a little bit of water in my spray bottle just to get the hair's true texture to kind of pop out a little bit. So once I started to see that, I did take some of my Cream of Nature mousse just to go over the tops of the hair to add a little bit more of a sheen. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to allow this to like air dry, but y'all, look at the curls. and this is just wet. So you already know what to expect, okay, once it dries. I did go ahead and take my Pattern Beauty blow dryer just to kind of diffuse a little bit. I did this on medium heat just because it was too hot, okay? Who are we kidding? Now, if you want to let this air dry, I am actually gonna claim this as vacation safe hair. Go to vacation hair. I mean, absolutely, you don't have to worry about anything. You let it air dry, it's gonna bounce right back. So after about 10 minutes or so, I did go ahead and just fluff up the curls. From this point, I used my fingers just to kind of bounce it up a little bit, give it a little bit more life, just because it was kind of flat, right? And obviously it's gonna continue to grow the longer that I wear it, the more that I put my fingers in it. And y'all know, you do not have to do the edges and the baby hair thing. It's just a personal preference. Whenever I have curly hair, like curly girls usually have baby hair, right? Like that's the thing, or adult hair, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I did go ahead and just kind of brush those up a little bit, and y'all, you be the judge, you see what's going on. I did go ahead and take a comb just to kind of back comb a little bit of the tops of the hair, just to kind of help further with the blending. But I'm looking at this dead in the mirror and I'm like, I mean, who's gonna check me? Now, when my boyfriend gets here, I am definitely gonna ask him his opinion about it, because he's gonna be real. Like, girl, you got a part as wide as the Red Sea, okay? But I'm very curious to see what he has to say about it, and you guys will be the judge. I am your model for the day. Let me know what you guys think about this. So far so good. Obviously the quality of hair tops here. You guys can see just how nice, pretty, and soft and luscious the curls are. I didn't really get a lot of shedding, but again, this is day one, so we can't really talk about it too much. The packaging, of course, was outstanding. I am actually proud of them for stepping it up. In terms of how custom this is, obviously it is a VPART, so you kind of get to customize this to your liking. I think they did a great job at just making sure that the combs and the clips are exactly where you need them to be. So the only thing that I would probably change is the fact that the elastic band is not actually adjustable. So we do need to make sure that the cap on the inside is not only adjustable, but the elastic band is as well, because that just makes all of the difference. Now in this case, I'm not really gonna make too much of a fuss about it, because y'all, the wig is not going anywhere, literally nowhere. We have those anchor braids, it's here to stay. You can flip this baby up, flip it back, do what you feel like you need to do. I feel like I look like someone else. Y'all always telling me that I look like one of the Mary sisters, and I don't know how I feel about that, because I'm just like, okay, I mean, Anywho, I am in love with the style. This is definitely gonna be a keeper. Some of the units I will resell, but nah, this one has to stay, especially because I've taken the time to trim it, customize it to my liking. Like, we are here and I'm loving it. And it looks really good. Like, you can throw on a headband. Y'all know I love to throw on a quick little cap. All the things. We are here. It looks so good and just healthy and like natural and effortless. It's giving more of a clip-in vibe than anything else. Like, Alipearl, y'all did it, okay? Y'all did y'all thing with this one. So that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy me trying out this viral hairstyle. I love you guys so much. Stay pretty. And of course, I will see you guys in my very next video. Bye, babies.